So happy Thursday, and happy day 4 of the Internationalization and Athletic Summit. I'm very excited that y'all are joining us, depending on where you are this morning, this afternoon, this evening, from around the world, as we learn more about sport entrepreneurship in Africa. I'm very excited for this presentation in particular because these two individuals, these two men that we see on the screen alongside myself, are people that I met during my time in Casablanca as part of Tibu Africa's Global Sport Entrepreneurship Week. And so to stay in touch over the last 5 months and to have you all have a featured session during the summit was not just a testament of the conversation in singular or conversations that we had while in Morocco, but also how intertwined and connected our purposes are, not just in our respective countries and continents, but across our continents as well. Per usual, for those who have joined us throughout the week, man, y'all know what to do. It's community conversation. So as y'all have questions about sport, entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship, drop them in the chat, send them to me directly, as I want this conversation to be a community conversation. But I'm done talking. I get to now facilitate and ask questions. But before we jump into questions, I would like to introduce my friends, both Elvis and Shogo. And we'll start with Elvis. Elvis, just tell us more about who you are, where you're located, and more about your business.
Thank you, Tim. Hi, everyone. How to all of the people who love sport for development and who have joined us. My name is Elvis Nshimba. I am the founder and CEO of Umoja Sport Foundation. I don't know, Tim, if it is possible to grant me access to share the presentation, or I can just give it orally.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Gotcha.
Okay, good. Okay. Hope you can see my screen now.
Loading right now. 1 second.
Okay, can you see it now?
No, there it goes. Yep.
Okay. Okay, great. So I said I'm the founder of Umoja Sport Foundation. Umoja Sport is a non-profit organization based in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Umoja is a Swahili name and it means unity. It means we use sport as a tool to bring people together. Once they gather, we start discussing social issues that prevent our sustainable development, and we develop strategies to find solutions. Then, why did we start Umoja Sport? Umoja Sport was created because education rate in the Democratic Republic of Congo is among the lowest in Africa. And this results in high level of unemployment, high level of criminality, high level of poverty, people who have nothing to do, they don't have a choice, and high level of ignorance of health issues and climate change. So Umoja Sport was created in response to this issue with the mission to create a safe and thriving community for everyone, regardless of their gender, regardless of their religious background or the origin background. And our vision is to contribute to a sustained Congo, a Congo where youths have equal access to education through sport, a Congo where youths are innovators. They can find solutions to their problems in a sustainable and development and innovative way. Now, to reach our goals, Umoja Sport has defined 3 innovative solutions we call 3 key programs. The first one is the sport program. We use football, we use alternative sports, we use purposeful play. So these are well-designed games that adapt with the local issues and how we can address them, how we can question norms and harmful traditions to bring a positive change of mindset. Then the second key program is education program, where we offer French literacy to out-of-school youths, because Umoja Sport is all about underserved communities and vulnerable people, vulnerable community members. So we provide them with French literacy because they can't afford to get to school. Then we give them IT and English, and we offer health classes to girls and women, namely the menstrual health management for girls and the sexual and reproductive health but also we offer family planning for women who are still at the age of procreating. And then we offer also full cycle education through sponsorship. We have a limited number of youth that we are currently sponsoring in schools. And these youths are identified because they come to our sports programs. It is where we discover their potential, where we learn that they really want to do something good for the community, and we give them an opportunity to join the education. Then the last program is the economic empowerment, where we have vocational trainings and we have technical programs for community members with the mission to help them increase their daily income so that they can change their livelihoods. And Umoja Sport has been, for the last year, Umoja Sport has been able to positively impact over 4,000 people through our activities, through sports for development, through education, and through economic empowerment. Now, to make you understand very well what is the politics of Umoja Sport, we have a kind of interconnection between programs. Sport is in the middle, where everyone comes for sport because they love it. But once they get to sport, then we say, okay, we are happy to teach you and to bring awareness to you about social issues, about sustainable development, and about your personal development as a person in the community. And then those who come for vocational trainings, they learn financial literacy through sport. They learn entrepreneurship through sport. And those who come for health issues, for health classes, they also have access to sport with well-designed games that teaches about being safe and being in good mood, being in good state. So this is one of the example of our graduate in sewing. Her name is Gloria Umba. Gloria Umba graduated and she was supported by her family. So she bought a sewing machine, and Umoja Sport is kind of accompanying her with mentorship so that she can increase and add 2 more machines and then open another sewing shop. And she comes regularly to our sports programs to learn about saving. Yeah, how do we survive? Because Umoja Sport is a non-profit organization. So we survive by mobilizing individual donors. We also survive by writing grants application, but also we are planning to start our own bank of sanitary pads because we combine sports about menstrual hygiene. And then we have the sewing activity where our female participants learn how to sew these reusable sanitary pads. And now our future plan is to create a bank of sanitary pads so that when people come to get sanitary pads at Umoja Sport, they have also access to accurate information about their health. Thank you.
Thank you, Elvis, for that presentation. I'm going to drop your website in the chat as we have Shogo. What's up, Shogo? You look clean, man. Elvis, you look clean too. We need the glasses. Put the glasses back on. But Shogo, man, glad you're here. Join us from Nigeria. A number of different things that you do from entrepreneurship standpoint. But okay, El, we all like that right now. I like it. Number of things that you do from an entrepreneurship standpoint, from Phreestyle to nonprofit to recruitment. So share more about who you are, what you're up to, before we jump into some of the questions that I have for us today.
Thank you, Timothy. I'm glad to be part of this great summit. Good morning to you, wherever you are. Good afternoon to you. How are you doing? I hope things are working as expected. I'm the brain behind Phreestyle Sport Limited, Nigeria. And we started Phreestyle Sport in 2009 as a small business. And later we graduated because I wanted to become a professional footballer because of our societal problem. And I couldn't achieve that. I felt there are a lot of members of our society who are deprived of opportunities by our political and economic system. And I said, see, their deprivation can only be temporary. And I came up with a plan on how to help the helpless and hope the hopeless through football and also sport. And in the course of going around to become a bridge to others to go to the next level, I decided to come up with Hammer Pro. I was privileged to go to communities to see how we can help exceptional players and exceptional young guys who are in school, and to see how we can link them up with opportunities. And we started. It was just like a community project. And later, I was privileged to be admitted into FIFA University, FIFA CIS, based on my sport involvement in my community and a few things I was doing. And I thought of African players because we came up with a project with Francisca from Namibia, Emmanuel Makuni from Zimbabwe, Skimbozo from Zimbabwe, and Parabo from South Africa. And we came up with African Professional Footballers Education and Financial Wage. Why do African players always become burden on society after playing football or after active sport? And we felt there's a need for us to change the narratives and see how we can contribute to the development of athletes during and after their playing career. And from there, we started going to communities like in Nigeria. I started going to clubs, to communities to talk to people on play plan. As you're playing football, as you're into sport, you have to play plan and also play safe because if you're destined to spend about 8 years on hard and you started playing professional at the age of 18 and you played actively for 12 years, 12 plus 18 years, that means you did 30 years, you have 50 years left to use. What are you going to do for the rest of the 50 years? You have to plan as you're playing football, as you're into athletics, as you're into all these things, you have to plan. And that is how I started going from one community to the other to see how I can open their mind to opportunity in football, because football is like a sport, is like a passport to the world. And it's you give you avenue to network and to meet a lot of people to generate revenue, but you need to have this financial orientation and also how to really network. And with that, we started moving from one project to the other, and I came up with Hammer Pro because I noticed that a lot of parents in Nigeria are tired of seeing their children playing football because it's time consuming, and also the time between the grassroots you being a grassroots player and a professional, and it takes a longer year for you to become a professional. It is easy in Europe and in developed country. When you're 16, 17, you can start playing professional. But in Africa, it is not like that. And I felt, how can I hasten the transition of the grassroots players to become professional within a short time? And I came up with amateur and professional football championship. And we look for exceptional players in the Nigerian Professional Football League, and some of them who are playing abroad. We use them, we form a team, and we bring players from local communities, we assemble them, and we kind of bring them together to play so that the professionals can be a mentor to the young guys who are coming, and to strike a kind of relationship between the professionals and the amateur. And in less than 8 years that we started, we've been able to produce about 165 professional players from the grassroots. And it is, people felt success is in location, but I believe it is in mentality. Because when we started, they said, the best place to do it is Lagos, is Abuja. But I said, see, success is...
We can start from where we are, and that was how I started from Kwara State. And from there, people started coming from other parts of Nigeria, coming to Kwara to play Hammer Pro. And last year, in 7 years, we've been able to see we have a player who is playing in Kano Zagres, Okoyemi Abdul from the project. We have Abdul Suleiman Abdul Ghani, who is playing in Lites, Bulgaria. I was doing as a community project, not commercializing it or trying to see how, but it's about impact, because a lot of people contributed to our story, and we have to give support to our own people to see how we can grow. Taiwo Awoni, who is playing for Nottingham Forest, is from my community. Dennis Bonaventure started from our own community. And all these guys are bringing a lot of things back into our community. Anytime Taiwo is coming, people are happy that Taiwo is coming. And if Taiwo is bringing them 100 million back to our society after EPL, and if we can have 10 of them, that means 1 billion will be coming back to our community. We say, okay. And there we started building people, and Amapo is now a global brand. I was invited by Tibo Africa to Morocco because of Amapo, and they said I'm one of the change makers in Africa. And from there, we are training on project management and how to do it better. And I must be honest with you, Amapo this year, we're having it by July, and Amapo is going to go live on Y Scout, and also we've gotten a partnership with Cora Stars. It's becoming bigger, and you see how it's not about us. I saw Matthew Flamini during the World Cup in Qatar. I saw him discussing with people and the amazing things this guy is doing after playing professional football. We don't just want to do it in our own way alone. We want to see how we can build a lot of people. Look at what is happening. Company who played for Manchester City, look at what is doing. Patrick Vieira, who played for Arsenal, look at what all these guys are doing. Matthew Flamini, and Leonardo Araújo, former Brazilian, who was the former sporting director of Paris Saint-Germain. And we have Abia Janetti, who, a lot of them look at Rio Ferdinand being a pundit and stuff like that, but it is not like that in Africa. I want to see JJ Okocha finish football, he play for Botin and Hull City and back in Nigeria doing other businesses, doing estate and stuff like that. But see, these guys, they've been in football, they've been in sport. They have to be a mentor to others and to see how we can grow a lot of top people. And look at Victor Osimhen, he's doing wonderful in the world. I want to see him after 20 years, still doing better after playing professional football. And that is what we are doing in Phreestyle sport and also Armor Pro. And also we have a project for women, which is equality and equity. And we want to see, it's called Drive to Play. We want to see how we can encourage a lot of young people to come into sport and play. And that is what we've been doing in Nigeria. And it's very Nigeria. I just came back from the Republic. I was in Ghana for Afro Sports Summit. I was in Morocco. I've been to South Africa through football. I was invited by FIFA to Russia in 2018, also in 2020 in Qatar as well, to see how we can discuss football. And I always tell people that labor to the point of honor for their life, your success, and the bigger the ship behind the storm. I want to see, I didn't have the opportunity to get there. We have to take a lot of people.
I appreciate that context. And if I heard you correctly, you said you're invited by FIFA to be part of programming at Qatar?
You said?
You were involved with the Qatar World Cup?
Yeah.
Wow. We're going to talk about that. That's wild. Because, I mean, World Cup coming to what? Morocco, Spain, and Portugal? 2030?
Yeah, AFCON is happening next year in Morocco.
Morocco, yep. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So let me come back to Elvis for this next question before I come back to talk about global football. And Elvis, you mentioned entrepreneurship, sport entrepreneurship, or social entrepreneurship in particular, being a nonprofit. At what point did you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur to address the education, sport, and economic needs in the Democratic Republic of Congo? When did you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Oh no, got you.
Yeah. So this has been the source of inspiration for me to become an entrepreneur is from my childhood. So the need has been addressed by my childhood. I had a special birth situation where my mother had to undergo a very complicated birth. And then when I grew up, the economic situation and the health situation threatened my education. And then I understood that it's very necessary that we start something for everyone, for the youth, because we have most of the Congolese people are vulnerable, in the category of vulnerable people. And we have realized that the Democratic Republic of Congo, despite, despite the high potential, of the country, but there is a kind of mindset, a fixed mindset which blocks people, which prevents most of people to be sustainably developed. And one of this issue is that because the first generation and the generation of our fathers didn't have access to full education. And sometimes you can find people who tell others, they say, I haven't been educated. I didn't achieve my studies. So it's not a problem if you don't go to school. You can always have your life. And this is one of the root causes. And this is ingrained in the mindset of those people. So I decided to stop everything I was doing to make sure that I can be an entrepreneur. And this way I can give access to most youths to have access to education and have access to needed, necessary information they need to develop their lives. The second thing is that Congolese youths, either educated or not, they are not prepared to entrepreneurship too. They don't have entrepreneurial minds because entrepreneurship is not part of the curriculum at high school in most sections, in most domains of high school. So I found it very necessary to use sport as a tool because people love sport. Everyone loves sport. So once they come for sport, and then we start telling them that you don't need to wait for the government to come and develop your house. You don't need the government to come and develop your area, your district. Because what happens is that most youths, they go to school, they go to university, but after going to university, they don't have a job and they don't have any entrepreneurial mind. So what they say is that We are waiting for the government to give us employment, and government cannot give employment to all of the people in Congo. We are too many, and we won't have all same opportunities to have jobs. So that was the second reason. So this came from my observation, as I saw someone who spent 5 years at university, but he's working as a conductor. Someone who spent 5 years at university, what kind of investment did his parents put in his studies? And then he's working as a conductor. Then I said, you are working as a conductor, which is a good thing, it's not bad, but the level of your studies, you should be a solution maker. You should be someone who provides other people with access to education. So this is how I decided to start this entrepreneurship through sport. And what we do, one of the example, for example, when we have women who come to do sewing with us, after learning sewing, they are likely to have a sewing machine. When they have a sewing machine, what happens? Okay, oh yeah, now I have my sewing machine and I'm getting 100 every month. So I will be wearing expensive gloves. I will be eating like a rich man. I will be doing this and that. So we try to tell them that you have one income stream, which is just one sewing machine. And then you open different ways to expend, to spend your money. That expense, you are wasting your money because you want to impress people. You want to wear like someone who has millions of dollars, but you don't have. So this mindset will not help the community to develop. So we use sports to teach them about saving. We use sport to teach them about how they can grow their business from one sewing machine to a second machine, and then give a chance to another girl to come and join her working shop, so that she's giving employment to other people. So this is all about entrepreneurship in sport.
I'm gonna stay right there for a second, Elvis, because I want you, if you're able to, give an example of how you're using sport to help, in that sewing machine example, help using sport to help entrepreneurs scale their business. How are you using sport to teach that, teach those skills?
Okay, so one of the example in the saving game is that we play a handball. Do you know handball? So we play handball. We play handball or we play basketball. So in this game, we have team A and we have team B, but we give them just one ball. And then me as a coach, I keep a set of cones, which represents the income. So if team A keeps the ball and makes 10 consecutive passes, they get one cone. It means they have kept the ball well and they have increased their income. So if they do 10 more again, I add one more cone. But if they lose it, then I remove one cone. And if they lose it, I remove the other one. And then after that, we start discussing where I ask them a question to know in the real life, what happens when you have a sewing machine and you get 100 US dollars every month? And what happens when you have to respond to every need without assessing it to know, is it urgent, or do you think this need can wait for the next month? So what can happen? Because you worked so hard for 1 month and then you got 100. But instead of saving it, you use it. So you lose the ball, you use your money. This is how we link sports and the real life.
I love that example. Thank you for sharing that. Shogo, you mentioned, or Elvis has mentioned, right, entrepreneurship, using your studies to be solution makers. So in a similar way, you identify an issue, particularly with footballers in Africa, related to life after competition, life after sport. So can you talk more about how you are helping footballers learn more about how they can optimize and take advantage of their careers after they're done playing the sport, whenever they retire? I might be a little, one second. You turn your volume up on your end? Make sure I can hear you.
Hello.
There you go. It's a little light. You're good.
Okay. Majorly, I use football terms to structure the financial life of athletes. language they understand. And all our professions have their own jargons, like in medicine, like in law, we have the jargons. In football, we also have our jargons and the language they understand. Now, gone are the days. Most of the people that do play football.
Hold on, Shogo. Hold on one second. And let me see. I want to make sure we can hear what you're saying for sure. Let me see. You disconnect the earbuds.
Hello.
It's a little bit better. Yep. Oh, you're good. Let's try that.
Hello.
No. Hold on. Hold on. No, can you disconnect it from the device? Like the
Hello.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. I said most of the footballers we spoke with, we use football terms to structure their life. And because the language they understand is football, and most of them go to school. But now things are changing. We are having a lot of educated people. And if you're talking about achieving your goals in life, are you hearing me? If you're talking about achieving your goals in life, you can use a football match to talk about that. The function of a goalkeeper is to stop you from achieving your goals. And before you can get to a goalkeeper, you have four defenders. You have to dribble past the four defenders before you can have access to the goalkeeper. And before the four defenders, you have a defensive midfield, whose job is to stop you from going to see the goalkeeper. Now, as a footballer, you have opportunity to use your leg and your hair, but the goalkeeper has an added advantage. He can use his hands. Now, in business, in life, there are a lot of obstacles. For you to get to the next level, you have to be determined, you have to persevere. Now, you need teamwork to go beyond these five people. The right back, the left center back, and the right center back. And you have a defensive. If you are privileged to go beyond these two guys, you have another big task. Who is the goalkeeper? Who can use his hand? Now, it takes a committed and decisive striker to score a goal, but you need the support of people. Some footballers, when they are making money, they decide to stay away from their own people. They don't want to listen to him. But life is about working with people. If you are a footballer and you don't have time to support the business, why can't you consult professionals who can guide you on how to manage your finances? When you are having break, off season, you can decide to go to school. Indidi, Taiwo Awoni, Alofinjana, who played for Bounty, all these guys during their break, they attend one courses or two in Europe. And these guys are better person in our society. But most footballers, when they have break in Nigeria, some of them decide to go. Now we're trying with the academies to see how we can bring in vocational training. How we can bring that, we talk to them on how to manage their finances, talk to them about insurances, we bring partners from our financial institutions to talk to them how you can save money, how you can get loan. And we have a lot of people who are into agriculture who can counsel them. And also, our job is just like a supervisor. We link them to opportunities, to financial institutions, to organizations that can help them. And we'll give them basic support that we can do and make sure that everything are working as expected. Because, some of them, they are too busy. Like the ones playing in the EPL, they only have 1 month to come and register too. And having investment in Africa, you have to be very careful. You have to have competent hands who can manage it for you. And that is why we're trying to start from the grassroots. You see, as you're playing football, you go to high school or you have a vocational course that you pick up with us. And there are a lot of vocational centers in Nigeria where you can learn how to become a computer engineer, how you can know how to book a flight ticket online, how to go into sewing and fashion and design. Like my wife, it's because of our small budget. My wife, she's into fashion and design. She's into soap making. She's into beads and stuff like that. And now we're focusing on women, girls who are playing, who are into football. We go there with our small budget, we take them in the class and also train them on certain things they can do. And some of them, they started small and they are growing big now. And in the MPFL, we are planning to have a partnership with a school in Rabat, like the XZ school, to see every off season. We take our MPFL, maybe if we can take all, we take about 20 from Nigeria to Rabat to see how they can go there and learn new things about project management, business management, strategic management, and other courses that we offer because it's getting bigger. We started small and it's getting bigger. We need more hands to help us do it. And I must be honest with you, we have been able to mentor about 16 players who are playing in the Nigerian professional football league, who are graduates now. We have Suraj Yuleso, who is under our management, is a graduate and is planning to go for his master's, and that is the way to go. And also, anytime there's an opportunity to learn, I'm going to Ghana by July for about 16 people. Some of them, because it's going to fall during our off-season. The Nigerian professional football is ending by 9th of July, hopefully. And some of the NPFL players are going with us to Afro Sports Summit in Ghana to see how they can learn one or two things. And there are a lot of short courses in Ghana on sport management, trying to see how we can have a partnership with Kwame Nkrumah University and Ghana State University so that they can go there for 2 or 3 weeks to learn sport management.
I appreciate that. I told y'all when I was down, we were all down in Morocco, that like what y'all are doing as sport entrepreneurs on the continent is dynamic and truly innovative. Both of which y'all are talking about, both from an athlete development standpoint, sports, social entrepreneurship standpoint, are skills that, at least at the collegiate level in the United States, we're just beginning to discuss more explicitly. And so recognizing that sport, the purpose of sport is different across the world. I would argue that in the United States, sport is used as a vehicle for entertainment, for commercialization, while in other countries and continents, sport is used as a means for entrepreneurship, economic development, identity development, things y'all mentioned. Community is important. And so one of the ways we found community was again, in Casablanca at the 2023 Global Sports Entrepreneurship Week. So I'd love to start with Elvis to just talk more about, what's your experience like being in Morocco? Why was it important for you to go to that conference that week? What are some of the things that you learned? Just give us more insight in regards to what that week meant to you.
Thank you, Tim, for the question. Morocco is simply amazing. So in terms of Morocco, I would like to talk about Tibo Africa. Tibo Africa is the hub of social entrepreneurs. And Tibo Africa is the best way we can all achieve the 63 agenda through sport. So during my stay in Morocco with Tibo Africa, this was the opportunity first to learn from my visit on site. When we see social medias, when we follow Tibo Africa, we follow the 63 sports program, we can understand things, but following things on social media is different from when you see them in person. And visiting, seeing how their programs are being interconnected from in-class activities to sport and to mentorship, and the strategies they built behind the ecosystem is simply amazing. So that was the first thing I learned. The second thing is that was the opportunity to meet amazing people like Tim, like Shogo, like any other people, amazing people who are bringing change, and then having the opportunity to exchange with them to understand what are the specific needs, what are the specific issues, and how are they solving those issues. So it was a unique opportunity for us to grow, for me, especially to grow. And finally, visiting Morocco gave me an impression that I had to restart everything. So it was an opportunity for me to assess myself, know my weaknesses. Then when I came back, I started working with the team on how amazing was the team we found, how amazing was the different stakeholders who came from different corners of the world to attend the forum, and how I met other like-minded change makers and how they were inspiring me. Because for me, every time I visit a community, I take that opportunity to learn more. So those three things are the main experience I got from Morocco. So getting those impressions and bringing that kind of expertise to motorsport has helped us to move to the next level with our programs.
Yeah, we see that. Real quick, you mentioned the 63 agenda. Can you talk more about the Africa 2063 agenda, the Africa we want?
Okay, so when we talk about Tibu Africa, Tibu is very huge. Tibu has many programs. They have different programs. But the 63 program is the program that has been initiated by Tibu Africa and its president, Mr. Amin Zariat, to accelerate the change because, you know, the United Nations have defined, they have developed an agenda which is called 63 agenda. It is almost the same way with the SDGs with the 2030 agenda. But for Africa, United Nations have defined strategies in different sectors and different domains that African governments and social organizations can use to accelerate the sustainable development in the continent. And Tibu Africa is really being a champion of that activity through sport, because nowadays sport has proven that there is power beyond competition. Sport is no more traditional competition. Now there are more power in sport to accelerate the development and to include, to involve as many stakeholders as we can through sport. And sport is the best way to teach people once and very quickly. And everyone gets excited when they are doing sport. So there are organizations across Africa which are implementing sports program, but we need to learn a kind of specific leadership in conducting those activities towards the tangible development. And that is where Tibu Africa has come to equip all of those organizations across Africa so that together, DRC, Nigeria, Morocco, Kenya, and other countries, together we can fly and move to the next level using sport to bring change of systems, to involve politicians, to involve individual stakeholders, to mobilize communities together so that we can change things for Africa, our Africa.
I love this. Shogo, how about you, man? Talk to us about your Tibu Africa experience at the Global Sport Entrepreneurship Week.
Thank you. It was a huge experience for me. I was contacted by Tibu and said, "See, we're coming to Morocco," and started like a joke. And from there, I was in Morocco, and they taught us so many things: entrepreneurship, project management, and how to relate with people, and how to align our project to the SDG agenda. And also, we're able to interact with fellow chain makers from other parts of Africa and to see how they do things differently in their countries. And a lot of activities happen in Europe, and I think those things are shaping my ideas into activities and make me a better person. Now I do things differently, and I know what I'm doing. I know my mission, I know my vision, and I'm seriously trying, because initially I was just doing mentor, trying to see how I can empower many. But through Tibu, they said we have to do a lot of things to see how we can empower our women. And now I have close to 4 projects I'm doing as regards girls and women in Nigeria, and trying to see how I can drive equity and equality in sports, and also to see how we can empower them. And very soon we'll be having a partnership with Azizia Oshuala very soon, trying to see how we can work with that, and also our foundation. And Tibu Africa, till now, we're still doing a lot of stores. Through Tibu Africa, I was in through one of the change makers, the so in an academy, and said, "We have to work together for the unity of Africa." And Morocco is uniting Africa through sports and through a lot of opportunities. And it cost us nothing less than 3 million naira to attend, just because at the business school, but it was free, just to make us a better person. And it was a privilege for me to meet people like Elvis, to meet people like Syria, meeting people like Abdullah, top guys who are doing amazing things. And I believe we are all working for the future of Africa and how to change the narrative. Because because I think we are the next generation to take over from the people out there. And we have to do it well and to make Africa a better place for all of us. Because now, most of our players are athletes are all aspiring to go to Europe to play. But if Africa is okay, I know a lot of them will stay behind. Look at what is happening now. There are some players with more than $2 million. But in Nigeria, max you get as a salary as a footballer is not even up to 2,000. And for you, 90 minutes is not a joke, and you working for 30 days. You cannot boast $5,000 annually. I don't think it's making any sense. And that is why we're trying to see how we can acquire skills to make our country better, and also to see how we can develop sport. But I must be honest with you, Team Africa is one of the few organizations in Africa who has the mind of empowering African people. People like us, they're not interested in who you are or where you're coming from. What they are interested in is impact. They want to impact. They want to make you a better person. And that is what it's doing. Without Tibu, I can never make someone like you. And I know there is a purpose for it. Tibu made it easy to meet a very wonderful person like you. And I want to say, see Albonga to Tibu Africa. And thank you to Tibu Africa for giving us the opportunity to unite Africa and also the world through sport.
Yeah, Tibu's legit. I'm glad I got to meet y'all, to be honest. And the next question focuses a lot on y'all's programming, both current but also what y'all may be implementing here in the future. There's a question from the chat that asks, how do you all incorporate mental health and wellness into your programs? So whether that be Elvis on the Umoja sports side, and then Shogo with Phreestyle sport, how does mental health and wellness conversations get implemented in your program? Start with Elvis. Yep.
Okay. So as I said before, our sports program is a set of well-defined, well-designed games that we use. So when we talk about social issues, when we talk about topics like saving or entrepreneurship, we have an appropriate setting for those games. When it comes to health and wellness, we have well-designed games that address health and wellness. And when it comes to mental health, then we have appropriate games for that. I would like to give a bit explanation on that. How can we use sport to rehabilitate people who have mental health issues? And one must remember that when you talk about mental health, it's not about the brain, but it's about what we feel in our heart. For example, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo is suffering because there is war over decades. And you find children who have lost their beloved. They have lost their parents. They are afraid. They are anxious. They don't have choices. So it means they have mental health, but mental health is affected by what they are feeling. And then sport helps them because our games bring fun. So sport for development is first of all about fun. First of all about fun. So we bring fun in the game. And then when we bring fun in the game, even if they were very much affected, but because activities are very funny, they will start expressing their feeling. You know, when someone starts expressing his feeling, even if he was very angry, but the fact of starting expressing the feeling is something that can help them relieve from that kind of stress. And Umoja Sport uses exactly the same approach with different games to help beneficiaries have a choice and help them understand that sometimes in life, we have things that happen in our daily lives, our daily experience, but then we need to learn how we can cope with such kinds of experience. That is the first thing. In terms of health and wellness, we use sport for development to train people and tell them that it is very important to stay healthy. For athletes, for example, they need to be mentally healthy, their psychology. They need to be healthy. They need to have rest. Everyone needs to have rest. But then we target mostly the diseases that are communicable. One of the example is that in 2020, there was COVID-19, and it brought lots of change. People started using Zoom and everything, so we have to work online. And this affected most of the people. And even locally, because in Africa, we still have a lot to do in terms of educating children. You know, when in a household, Papa is at home, Mama is at home, children are at home, and there is no work, there is no salary. Everyone is upset. You will find that the father is upset. The mother also is upset. And then children are not safe because everything children are doing pushes the parents to scold them, to hit them. So this is the reality according to the short study that we did in our community. And you can find that a child says, I don't wish to stay at home if Papa is at home. So I would like to go and play. And when he goes back, then I come home because I don't have peace. So all of those kind of things that are in our environment bring issues to the mental health of children. Then we have games, parents, and we teach them how they can help their children grow. And we have games with children where we teach them to stay healthy and cope with whatever comes in their life. And then the COVID-19 taught us, we quickly developed in partnership with coaches across continents, we developed a special curriculum that teaches about measures or precaution that someone can take to avoid COVID-19. For example, we say, wash your hands. They said we have to wash our hands. We have to keep our social distance. We have to wear masks. We have to stay at home if we don't do something. Now, what happens is that if you bring people in a classroom and you say, okay, guys, today I'm going to teach you about how to avoid COVID-19, then you start writing on the board. You have to wash your hands. You have to do this and that. Yeah, it's good. But sport brings another approach where we play, we have fun. It's easy to learn by having fun. I just do like this. And then it means stay at home. And if I'm standing up, I just do like this. And I say social distance. Then this is wash your hands. This is put on your masks. So the way we play is like the box you are seeing my screen. You can see that there are 4 corners. Then the middle is point 0, the starting point. That is where the player is. And there it's stay at home. So when we move forward to the right, you can say, wash your hands. When we move back to the left, for example, we say, wear your mask. We put different actions and design different movements to teach quickly. They have fun and they learn a lot. Then after playing, we have a conversation. So this is how we use sport to address COVID-19. We have games that talks about HIV for young people, and that talks about HIV to people who are sexually active. And there are games that talks about health and wellness in general. For example, we focus on the importance of exercising. Physical exercise is very important for everyone. This is how we do it. Thank you.
Another phenomenal example, Elvis. Yeah, I love learning from what you have going on at Umoja Sport. Shogo, similar question to you as you're talking to these athletes who are currently playing, currently competing, and or close to retirement. How are you incorporating conversations related to mental health and wellness in those interactions? Oh, one second. Repeat the question for you?
Yeah.
No problem. So how are you incorporating conversations about mental health and wellness as you're interacting with footballers in Africa?
Yeah, right. Now we have a project that we do called Stress Game. Because we noticed that stress and depression because of the situation.
Hold on real quick. Can you can you unplug your headphones again, your earbuds again? Whatever you.
Hello.
Hold on a second. Try it again. No, still volume still up. Keith, what'd you do last time when you unplugged your headphones from the device?
Hello.
Yeah, that worked. Try it again.
Hello.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Okay. I said now during the off season, we're planning to have a project called Stressless Game for people who are working and also people who are in sport, not necessarily the athlete, but the administrators and the who are working in sport because a lot of them are going through stress because of the situation of the country. And also, we want to see how we can engage them. And also, during my encounter, during my journey in Congo, I got some clue on how to run a project for women who are above 40. And now we're working on that. I'm not fit and not fit because women are not fit in the family. They have to stand, they have to be fit and for them to be able to tasks at home and organization in Nigeria called Exercise in Medicine to engage women to engage to exercise, and also we're planning to do that every Saturday because where I'm staying is like an Islamic community, and you see people wearing hijab, but we're trying to see how we can penetrate the community because you hardly see most of our women coming out for exercise, except for few ones who but now we're trying to see how we can work with leaders in the community to see how we can tell them to engage in exercise and stuff to reduce health issues and stuff like that. But basically, most people are going through mental stress and want to see how we can engage them through sport, and that is why we came up with Stressless Game. We have chess, we have Scrabble, volleyball, basketball, and the rest. Just come around and have fun so that we have a kind of relief from what we have gone through. Like some people, they go to office from 7 a.m. and come back at night. Time from Saturday, they only have Sunday to rest. They still go to church and also to attend to their children, and the rest become something terrible. Now we decided that see, we have to start seeing how to work with organizations to give a time to their staff to see how they can have time to go into sport. But majorly, what we have is mental stress, and we're trying to see how we can address that through our stressless game.
Appreciate that response, Shogo. So I got to close this out, unfortunately, but this conversation is definitely going to continue both through Zoom, well, both virtually, but also hopefully in person. Y'all can come to the United States or I come down there or both. But this last question is focused on supporting you all, as entrepreneurs, but really as people and as humans. So again, we'll start with Elvis and then conclude with Shogo. So Elvis, how can I best support you? How can the Walk with TFB community best support you? And what you have going on, both with the Umoja sport, your family, but also your overall human being as well.
Okay, thank you for the question. Team Sports for Development or social entrepreneurs and social enterprises like non-profit organizations in Africa, one of the main issues is the limited resources. And these limited resources are namely the financial resource and the human resource. The human resource is limited because of two factors. One, it's because of lack of finance, and secondly, because of lack of expertise. So the way you can support Umoja Sport is to open Umoja Sport to more collaboration with organizations and like-minded people, but also to people who can collaborate with Umoja Sport so that in the future, they are able to support financially Umoja Sport. And then one of the program, which is very ambitious because we did a kind of need analysis in terms of sport disciplines in our community. Most of youths are passionate about basketball. So if there is someone who can support Umoja Sport by providing their expertise, by providing the curriculum, and providing needed materials to start a kind of pilot project, that would be simply amazing. So the best way for us to support us is to open more collaboration with people who are likely to support us if they see the impact that we do. And if they believe, because, you know, joining Umoja Sport is joining a noble cause that is trying to change the life of the whole community towards positive, good, positive outcome or positive change. Thank you.
Well, the noble cause. I'm gonna hold on to that. Shogo, how can I best support you and what you're doing with Phreestyle sport?
Are you hearing me?
Yep, it's perfect.
Yeah. I think you can support us by giving us a platform to acquire more skills and knowledge about what we do, and also give us a privilege to attend conferences and to make part in our community. And also by creating pathways for our young athletes from here to get to the top. Because what is important is having a pathway that's working and make them to get to the top easily. And also, I believe collaborations, it's a relationship with people that are in schools. Some of them also go to school, some of them want to go to sport fully. If we can have a lot of collaboration with schools, with institutions, with organizations, that can help also work to make this athlete a better person, to make us a better person, and also to encourage other people to come into entrepreneurship so that we can have a larger number of people who are empowering a lot of Africans. It's not about us. What we are benefiting today is as a result of the effort of some people who give us the platform to get to where we are. And we also, wow, we have to be a bridge to others to go as well. It's not about having billions in your account, but about having an impact in the life of people and raising a lot of breadwinners. By God's grace in our community, I've been able to raise who are doing well in the atmosphere, especially in football. And it's not about me, it's about generation to come. And the concept is this: I believe in empowering people. I say the bigger the ship, the higher the storm. I want to be a ship so that I can face a lot of storms. And I believe by raising others, I will also become.
Thank you for that, Shogo. Be the ship in the storm. I like that. I'm writing that down right now. Hold on. Well, Elvis and Shogo, man, thank y'all so much again for taking 1 hour out of y'all's afternoon to speak with me and really to share with the world what y'all are accomplishing through entrepreneurship, either social entrepreneurship, nonprofit, for-profit, across the continent. Please know that y'all's impact, y'all's leadership, y'all's light is visible around the world. I'll do my part. Elvis is already somebody I'm thinking about from a basketball standpoint that can help with, and actually from the DRC, which is pretty exciting. And then Shogo in a similar way, the skills and knowledge piece. We can do more educational sessions on Zoom, as we did with Umoja Sport a couple months ago. So look forward to advancing those conversations. The one thing I will say is that Shogo, you and I have work to do, because the next time we talk, hopefully, well, not next time, next year when we talk, we're gonna try to do this in French. And I know Elvis already knows French, and you and I don't. You and I don't, man. But again, it's great to see that our diaspora thriving and flourishing across the continents. Love y'all. I look forward to communicating and talking with y'all very, very soon. Peace out. Au revoir. Au revoir.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Elvis. Talk to y'all soon, man.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you to all of the people, the amazing people who have been following us.
Love it. Talk to y'all soon. Peace out.